Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So in my first video, OMG, you will never guess what my wife found in the closet. Check out that video if you haven't already. A YouTuber had asked me that I should do a video explaining how I lost all that weight and got from a 48 waist to a 32. Well, it certainly wasn't over the 13 years of marriage, that's for sure. But in the last 3 years is when it actually happened. And it wasn't from exercise. A little bit of diet here and there, not a whole lot, mind you, but a little bit of diet. Now, a couple of years ago, it's going back about 3 years, I'd gone in for a physical, and, I don't do that very often. What's the point? So anyways, I guess I should go more often. I found out I had high cholesterol, and also, of course, my weight was very excessive. There was a point, by the way, that I was actually a 52-inch waist. The wedding, when I married my second wife, I divorced the first one first. Anyways, when I married my second wife, I was a 48. And into the marriage, after a little while, I did explode into a 52. And that was a little on the outside of damn. Okay, so quite large. And anyways, so I've dealt my whole life with the heavy problem. I only had a brief period as a teen where I was actually at 150 pounds. And my goal is to get back down there, and I'm now down to 175. And, 174.6 this morning. So if you want to get technical. My weight kind of fluctuates up and down by about 2 or 3 pounds here and there, and it goes back down further, and then it goes up 2 or 3, and then it goes down further. And even now I can lose like a pound a day without even doing anything. But anyway, so back to the physical. High cholesterol, and of course I've been drinking sugar pop for the good portion of my life, and because I don't drink coffee since I was like 18, and my one doctor says, you're going to die if you don't quit coffee, alcohol, and cigarettes. I says, well, alcohol, no problem. Coffee, piece of cake. Because I actually did end up developing problems with drinking coffee after drinking so damn much of it. And the cigarettes, well, I'm still smoking, but, at that time I didn't actually smoke that much. And then, of course, later in the years, I started to turn into a literal chain smoker. And I was going through upwards to, it'd be the equivalent of about 60 to 80 cigarettes a day, which is quite excessive. But I didn't smoke all those, don't get me wrong, okay? A lot of them burnt out in the ashtray because I was playing video games a lot, right? And so I did actually smoke a lot of them, though, either way. And I'm now down to about a pack to a pack and a half a day on average, and that's only happened in the last year and a half since moving out into the country where we are now, because where we live now, I can't smoke in the house, and that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I'm actually quite happy for it because it helps to curb the smoking, especially in the winter when it's freaking cold. I really don't want to go outside, so I can go much longer periods and not have to worry. And most of the time I can get through an entire 2-3 hour movie without even having a cigarette, which is great. And I also have to think about in the winter time, it's like, it's cold outside. Do I really need a cigarette that bad? So anyways, getting back to the physical thing once again. So I had to change my diet around because of cholesterol, and I got put on Crestor. I also, it took about 18 years, believe it or not, for the hospital to figure out that all these heart palpitations and pains I was getting was actually acid reflux / GERD. And of course I've been dealing with that since I was a teen. And when it flares up really wicked, it literally feels like a heart attack because your heart really races and you get a pain in your left breast area here, and oh my God, it hurts, and that's even before the heart rate kicks up. Well, the heart rate's going up, it's even nastier, and it feels like a heart attack even though it's not. But go to the hospital, get checked anyways, because you never know. So I've had probably over 2,000-3,000 trips or more to the hospital since I was a teen, and it's scary stuff, and what scares me the most too is we do have heart problems in my family line, in the DNA tree, and I'm trying to avoid those because my father's actually gone through a lot of that with having stents, and it's like I really don't want to go through that, so I'm trying to avoid those things by changing my lifestyle around, obviously. But part of what shaves off a lot of the weight too is working. I got a job here when I moved to the country with my landlord. He does RV trailer repair, and I got into it, and he's been training me, and I love the job. It's great. So that helps lose weight because you're very active in that kind of work, and you're up and down ladders and on roofs and doing this and doing. It's nonstop, and it's cool. Though in the wintertime I don't work because we shut down for the season. So other than that, I just have my RC hobby to keep me busy. But even if I'm not working, I'm still dropping the weight because the pills that my doctor put me on a couple of years ago they're called pantoprazole. Anyways, it's a PPI. It's a proton pump inhibitor. It shuts down the acid in your the pumps in your stomach, whatever. It keeps the acid levels down, right? Well, there's some side effects to these pills that I wasn't aware of, and I did some research because I'm not, I've been working in past little while, and I'm still dropping a pound a day, minimum, and that's kind of a little excessive. Well, it turns out that these pills have a side effect that it can either cause excessive weight gain or excessive weight loss, but it also causes IBS, which is called irritable bowel syndrome. So basically you shit through the eye of a needle, okay? And it's kind of like being on permanent food that you probably shouldn't eat anyways. But between those two, that's what's killed off a lot of the weight and continues to do that. But I do have to get off these drugs because another side effect that could occur, which I'd like to avoid, is the good old coronary problems that are listed. And I'm thinking, I need to switch over to a natural version of these drugs. So go for the all-natural fix. And there are some natural remedies out there for GERD. There's no cure for it, but certainly those things may also help. But the other thing is the pills don't help as much anymore because my body becomes immune to drugs. And because I was on Zantac for a long time, and even doubling the dose didn't help. My body got immune, and then I got onto another drug. My body quickly adjusted and got immune. And these things, my body is starting to now reject as it is anyway. So I get attacked a little more often than I used to, but some of that is because of my diet choices. And another part of that physical was that we also found out that I was borderline diabetic. Now this is where a big weight loss initially started, because when you drink sugar pop, it just turns into fat. Right? And of course, for many of decades, I've been drinking high octane sugar pop, aka Pepsi, the name brand stuff. And then I did switch to no name after a while because Pepsi brand's getting too damn expensive. And I drink between 6 to 8 liters of pop a day because I don't drink coffee, and I really don't like tea because it's very, very acidic. And it actually affects me worse than sugar pop did. But the sugar never bothered me, other than the fact that I just never slept hardly. If I got a half an hour in an entire night, I'm actually doing good, but I was still 100% functional all the time because I'm always jacked on sugar. And so, being borderline diabetic, there's diabetes in the family, I decided that was it, I would quit. And then I just have sugar pop as a treat here and there whenever we'd go to Tim Hortons. And now I don't even get the sugar pop. I settle for just, getting a bottle of pop from Timmy's that's, Diet Pepsi. It's got aspartame, and I don't like aspartame because aspartame is actually very bad for your body. Cancer problems, Alzheimer's, can cause dementia, mimic MS symptoms, all kinds of shit that stuff can do to your body. So what I do is I drink this stuff. Okay, it's called Great Value Diet Cola. It has sucralose. And I drink 3 to 4 of these bottles a day. So 6 to 8 liters of this stuff a day. You'd wonder, considering how I drink so much, why I'm not diabetic, or how it is I'm not diabetic, because one of the signs of being diabetic is constantly drinking. I think more for me it's a compulsive, addictive nature of just drink. Because anytime I ever drank alcohol, which wasn't very often, but when I did, of course, you sit me down, if you throw a 2-4 near me, it will be gone within an hour. I'll just, You know, of course, I'll also be wasted pretty good too. And the life of the party, which is cool. I'm a funny, hilarious drunk. So, but I can do without the alcohol. So even a couple of years ago, I quit that too. And you know, it's not that I really quit it really because I was never addicted to it to begin with. It's just that when I did drink, which was rare, but when I did, I just drank to get drunk and have a good time, partay, you know. And but after the last time I got a little over wasted, my body said, "Enough's enough, Gabby. You're getting too old for this crap." And I said, "Okay, you win." And so I totally just said, "I don't need it anyways. I can do without it. Why bother? It's a waste of money. I can put all that money into my pop supply," and I do. Trust me. And you figure at what I drink per day, that's a lot of money at 87 cents a bottle. Okay, that's pre-tax. Anyhow, so that's how I deal with life. So the only real exercise I get is at work, you know, and that's where my exercise comes from. The rest of the weight loss is, you know, switching from sugar pop to diet pop. I lost a lot of weight real fast. Like I dropped a brick or two within the first month after quitting the sugar pop, and it just kept going and going. But then I've got these wonderful acid reflux pills that help along with losing that weight too. And either way, that's how I've gone from a 48-inch waist plus down to a 32-inch waist now. And I'm still going down, you know, and I got to see my doctor to get off these drugs. And I should still be able to get the weight down to where I want. I want to get back down to 150 where I was when I was a teen, and my doctor said that it's safe enough for me to do. But you know, I will say this, being a big heavy guy, you do actually have insulation. Because I find now that being this thin, because last year I wasn't this thin, okay? I was much heavier. This time last year I was still putting out about 250, 260 pounds. And so from then till now, I've dropped enough that I'm down to 174 pounds. And, you know, that's quite a bit in a year. But like I said, it will go up and down a little bit here. It goes up a couple notches and then back down maybe two and then up a little and then back down a couple more. And it kind of fluctuates in and out a bit. But I'm still on a constant drop ratio regardless. And but I do want to get to that 150 and then try and stabilize my weight at that point. Because once I'm down to that weight scale, I'll be happy. You know, I mean, I'm down to a size small jacket, you know, and I still have room, you know, and I'm like, this is so wrong. I don't remember ever fitting a size small in my life. Apparently I do now. Because I always liked larger clothes anyways, you know, like even this t-shirt, this is like a large, you know, and even for a large, I mean, it's still, I got space, you know, and that's a large, you know. So my pants, they're I believe these are a large, and I still got to tie the drawstring up to snug them up so that they'll stay up. So I should actually be going down to at least a medium in my pants and maybe a medium in my shirts now, but you know, I still kind of like the baggy shirts. You know, I like the freedom of movement. And I do wear jeans, but not that often, mostly at work. I bought a pair of jeans, what was it, a couple months ago, because I was a 36 a couple of months ago. And so I bought a pair of these 36s. I got to wear them 3 times, and now they fall off, and it's like, crap. So down to 34s. Okay, that's a little bit better. Oh, crap, now they're falling off. Down to a 32. Now we've got some restraint there. A little bit of restraint. I'm happy again for probably another couple of months, and then they'll probably just fall off, so I'll have to go down to a smaller size. So I'm going to just quit buying jeans altogether until my weight stabilizes, because I'm tired of spending money on pants. You know, at least with joggers, you can just keep sucking the drawstring in. And of course, I went through all my bathing suits. Now I got to buy all new bathing suits because they're just like way too big for me. You can fit like 3 of me in the one bathing suit. It's crazy. And I don't like baggy bathing suits. So that's the story behind how I went from a 48 plus down to a 32-inch waist. And I actually did this within the last 3 years. is when it happened. And and it doesn't mean you gotta just go out and get on some sort of wonder drug, because there is none. But being that I suffer with acid reflux and that'll never go away, these pills are partly responsible for the weight loss, according to the side effects. And of course, going from sugar pop to diet pop will take a ton of weight off you either way. And then getting exercise at work, depending on your job, when I was a kid, I used to go to the gym. I used to run too a lot. I used to run even one girlfriend I had way back in the day. She lived several kilometers from me, and I used to jog back and forth. If I wasn't riding my bike, I would just jog to her place. And so that's another way to keep in shape back then. But if you balance your diet out too, it'll help. But I've now happily say that my cholesterol level is under control, and there's no sign that I'm anywhere even near the diabetic area. So I've dodged that bullet as well. Now I just got to dodge the bullet on the whole heart thing, which I found out that if you eat broccoli as one of your food choices, can be cooked or raw, doesn't matter. It actually can unclog your arteries. It can reverse that damage. So can avocados and a few other things I found on the list, but I don't eat avocados. And I can't drink any juices, and I can't eat any fruits that are sugary fruits, because that affects my acid reflux. And I'm sick and tired of going to the frickin' hospital. Okay? But when you get the pain, you gotta go, because you don't know. One of these days it might just be a heart attack. You never know. So better safe than dead, So I do have other food choices that I have to rearrange, and I've been eating more fish. I've been one of the other things I did to help get my cholesterol down too. So if you have cholesterol issues, is eating a ton of chicken. I love chicken. I don't eat the skin that often. Once in a while, I'll eat the skin. I actually take little breaks from it because I love the skin. If you don't love the crispy skin on chicken, I mean, you're just crazy. It's probably the best part of the whole damn chicken. But once in a while I'll eat the skin. Other times I'll just chew it up and then spit it out in the garbage later. It varies, but otherwise I eat a lot of chicken. I love chicken, and that helps with the cholesterol. It helps with my weight and everything else, and that sort of thing. And I eat it on the barbecue, or my wife will she cuts up the chicken and breads it with crackers, which is really good. So you do get a little bit of fat there. The other thing is switch your butter over to non-hydrogenated butter. This will save your arteries too, because if you know about Basil, it's non-hydrogenated. So any non-hydrogenated butter will work. Once that butter liquefies, it stays a liquid. It never goes cakey again even in your body. Because I actually tried this as an experiment. I actually melted some non-hydrogenated butter, and then I threw the container in the freezer. It stayed liquidy. And it's like, cool, that just keeps going through the blood vessels. We're all good, so that helps a lot. Not that it's any good for you. No, you shouldn't have large quantities of it just because it stays liquidy, but it is a better source than having the stuff that's not like that, and that shit will clog you up, and that would be bad. So anyway, that's all I got for you, and so hopefully you enjoyed the video, and now the person who asked now knows how I did it, because he wanted to know how he could drop his waistline down. But that's all I've done, just those things. And one big thing is that if you do drink sugar pop, get off of it. Go to diet pop, and I tell you, it is an adjustment time period. I had to adjust as well. But drink diet pop that has sucralose, not aspartame. Aspartame is very, very bad for you. That's why you should stay away from anything with aspartame, because that stuff is just nasty. If you knew what it was made out of, you would be barfing yourself silly, okay? It would actually make you that disgusted if you knew about that. But you can now, because now you have an idea and something to go to Google about. Anyway, there you go. That's it. That's all. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Ciao.